You ever have one of those days where you feel like your focus is just completely gone? Like you're living in a fog of constant distraction? Well, today we're going to talk about that. We're going to dig into a surprisingly simple solution that's been around for about 5,000 years. Let's dive in.
Take a look at this number, 96. Any guesses? It's not a grade, it's not a temperature. 96, that's the average number of times we check our phones every single day. Just let that sink in for a second. 96 times a day, we choose to break our own concentration.
And there's actually a name for this constant checking. It's called cognitive interruption. And it's way more than just a bad habit, you know? It's a state of being where our brains never really get a chance to settle on one thing. We're constantly pulling ourselves out of the present moment.
Which brings us right here to the modern focus crisis. Because what we're all dealing with, it isn't some personal failure. Nope, it's a fundamental challenge of living in our world today, an environment that is basically built to hijack our attention. Does this feel familiar to you? Being caught in this endless loop? Jumping from one thought to the next notification to the next email, never really landing anywhere? Honestly, it's mentally exhausting. It just leaves us feeling scattered and like we're not getting anything done.
So what is actually happening inside our heads when we're stuck in that loop? Let's peek under the hood and take a look at your brain on distraction and the real science behind this whole cycle.
Okay, check this out. On the left, that's the distracted brain. It's a bit of a mess, right? You've got looping thoughts, a nervous system that's literally rewired for anxiety, and that hyperactive amygdala. But then, look to the right, the focused brain. It's single-pointed, calm, stable, regulated. The difference isn't just in your head, it's physical.
So that overactive part, the amygdala, that's our brain's threat detection center. And when we're constantly distracted, it goes into overdrive. The best way to think about it is like your brain's smoke detector is just stuck in the on position. It's constantly screaming about smoke even when there's no fire.
It all sounds a little grim, doesn't it? A rewired brain, a broken smoke detector. But here's the good news. The solution isn't some brand new app or a crazy biohack. It's ancient wisdom. It's been waiting for us this whole time.
So this is the million-dollar question, right? How do we actually regain control? How do we turn off that faulty alarm and start to calm down our own nervous system?
Well, an answer comes from the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Indian text. It says, "For the mind that is unsteady, practice and dispassion are the means." What that really means is that we can train our minds, just like a muscle. We can practice bringing our focus back to one single point.
And that brings us to the really practical part of all this. Let's forget the theory for a second and talk about a real, concrete technique you can use, like right now. It's an ancient practice that's all about a single-pointed gaze.
The practice itself is unbelievably simple. Okay, step 1, just find a comfortable place to sit. Step 2, gently fix your gaze on the tip of your nose. Step 3, and this is super important, hold that gaze without straining. Don't force it. And step 4, just allow your mind to become still. That's it. You just watch.
And the principle behind this is so elegant and simple. By giving your eyes one single unmoving thing to look at, you're giving your mind one single unmoving thing to focus on. See, when your eyes stop darting all over the place, your mind follows their lead. Stilling the eyes stills the mind.
So this powerful practice actually has a name. It's called Trataka. And if you look at the definition here, you can see it's an ancient yogic technique designed for one specific purpose: to develop that deep concentration, that single-pointed focus we're all looking for. Okay, so let's bring it all home. What's the big takeaway here? How does this ancient practice actually help us with our very modern problems? Let's talk about stilling the modern mind.
The benefits here are, well, they're profound. By practicing something as simple as this, you can start to reclaim your focus from the endless pull of your phone and your computer. You can reduce that constant cognitive interruption, calm down that overactive smoke detector in your brain, and over time, literally start to rewire your nervous system for peace.
So I'll leave you with this question, and forget about just being more productive for a minute. Think bigger. What could you learn? What could you build? What could you create if you truly, fully had your focus back? What becomes possible when your mind is actually your own again?